Hi everyone, and welcome to the 4th week of our home yoga practice series. And this week we are concentrating on the core. No matter if you hate core work or if you love core work, it really helps to build confidence and strengthen your entire yoga practice. After you're finished watching this video, be sure to head over to Instagram because I am sharing a brand new photo every single day this month. All the details are in the description box below. We're gonna start this core sequence by warming up with some sun salutations with some additional poses added in. So let's go. Come to the top of your mat. We're gonna stand with our big toes together, heels slightly apart, root down through the 4 corners of our feet, stand tall, tuck your tailbone, drop your shoulders down away from your ears. Inhale, reach up. Exhale, fold forward. Inhale, halfway lift, flat spine. Exhale, high plank. We're gonna lower all the way down here. Inhale into cobra pose. Exhale, we're gonna tuck our toes, come back into downward facing dog. You can stretch out your legs here a little bit. We'll take 2 breaths. 1 more. We're gonna exhale, step both feet forward. Inhale to a flat spine. Exhale, fold forward. You can keep your knees nice and bent here. Inhale, reach all the way up. Exhale, right into our second round. Fold forward. Inhale, half lift. Exhale, step back. Lower. Inhale, cobra. Exhale, downward facing dog. 2 breaths here. We're gonna step our right foot forward up beside our hand. Drop your left knee down. We're gonna start to work into our hips a little bit here. Whenever we're doing core work, it can be quite hard on your hips. So before we move into that, we're just gonna open them up a little bit here. So make sure your back toes are lying flat against the ground. We're really moving and leaning into their front knee here. Really trying to open up on our left side. Now, these hip muscles, our psoas, can take quite a long time to release, so we're gonna hold this for a little bit longer. Really concentrating on your inhale, breathing into that space in your hip. On your exhale, trying to move a little bit deeper into the pose. Depending on your flexibility, you might be coming down quite far. Just make sure that you're not relaxing into the pose. We still wanna feel some resistance here. If you want to go a little bit further, you can bring both hands to the inside of your foot. You can walk your right foot out slightly. Come onto the blade edge of that right foot. And you can either stay here lifted, or you can come right down onto your forearms to move really deep into that hip. Wherever you are, breathe deeply. Breathe through the discomfort. These long holds are really what yoga is all about. Now, if you've moved your right foot out to the side, we're gonna slowly walk it back in. Place our right hand on the opposite side of our foot. We're gonna tuck our back toes under, and we're gonna step back and up into downward facing dog. Now, you are definitely gonna wanna stretch out your legs here a little bit. Your left hip may be feeling a little bit sore, but that's okay. And now we're gonna switch up the legs. So this time we're gonna step our left foot forward, all the way up between our hands, drop our right knee to the ground, untuck those toes, and settle in here. We're gonna hold this for the same amount of time so you know how long you're gonna be here for. So don't resist it. Try to embrace the new sensation you're feeling in that hip. And again, if you'd like to go a little bit deeper, bring both hands to the inside of your foot and walk your left foot out. Come onto the blade edge, creating a little bit more space. And then either stay here or release down onto your forearms. Any step that you're at today is fine. You may feel totally different one day to the next. So one day you may be down on your forearms, One day, you might be right up on your fingertips. You never know. Body changes every day. Keep breathing deeply here, in through the nose, out through the nose. Don't fight the feeling in your hip. Try to embrace it. 2 more deep breaths here, in through the nose and out. Trying to release any last bit of tension that's still sticking in that space. And walking your left foot back into center. We're gonna tuck our back toes under. We're gonna lift our back knee. We're gonna step right up to the front of the mat. Halfway lift. Exhale, fold forward. Inhale, reach all the way up. Exhale, fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, step back into your plank pose. You're gonna exhale all the way down to the mat. Inhale, cobra. Exhale, downward facing dog. 1 breath here, in through the nose. Long sigh out. Step your right foot forward, up beside your hand. Now we're gonna keep our back toes lifted. Back leg is straight and strong. From here, make sure you have a great sturdy base. When you feel ready, we're gonna lift up onto our knee. We're gonna lift our arms all the way up. Keeping that back leg really strong and engaged. You want that knee to be straight and strong. So if you're coming down like this, re-engage that leg. If you're having an issue here, you can always come down onto your knee. Keeping your front knee over your front ankle, staying lifted, opening up through our left hip, keeping our core tucked in, starting to turn that area on, getting ready for some more core work. And we're gonna strengthen it a little bit more. On our inhale, reach up. Exhale, come forward, sweep your arms behind your body. Keeping the deep bend in your front knee the whole time. Inhale, up. Exhale, come forward. Inhale, up. Exhale, come forward. 1 more time. Inhale, up. Exhale, drop your hands to the floor. Step back into downward facing dog. Again, you can pedal out those feet, stretch that hip. Then inhale, bring your left foot forward. Make sure you have a strong base. Inhale to come up. You can do a little double check here, making sure that both hips are facing towards the front of the room, making sure your knee is directly over your ankle and your back leg is straight and strong. Shoulders are down away from your ears. Inhale up. Exhale, sweep forward. Inhale up. Exhale, sweeping forward, matching this movement with your breath. And come down 1 more time. We're gonna go up. Release down to the mat. We're gonna step both feet forward, halfway lift. Exhale, fold. Inhale to reach all the way up. Exhale, fold forward. Inhale, halfway. Exhale, step back, high plank. Lower all the way down. Inhale, cobra. Exhale, downward facing dog. 2 breaths here. We're gonna give a big sigh on each one of our exhales. Inhale through the nose. Exhale, sigh. Inhale through your nose. Exhale, sigh. 1 more deep breath. On the end of your exhale, step your left foot forward. We're gonna drop our right foot so it's parallel with the back of our mat. Spiral open, warrior 2. We're gonna come right into side angle here. So dropping our front arm onto our front leg, sweeping our top arm open, opening up through our chest, allowing another hip opener here in warrior 2, and also concentrating on the integrity of our core. So making sure that your tailbone is tucked, ribs are knitted in, core is turning on. Now for a little bit of an extra core challenge here, we're gonna lift our bottom arm, almost like you're holding a giant ball here. We're gonna try to keep our upper body in the exact same spot as we reach out. 1 more breath. Spiral open, warrior 2. We're gonna straighten our leg, Come through center and switch right onto the other side. Opening up, warrior two. Bend your knee, drop your arm, opening into side angle. Trying to keep the integrity through our side body here as we reach through our fingertips, keeping our back leg rooted, and then lift to hold on to that big volleyball or big beach ball, turning our core on. Breathe through it here. You're gonna want a nice strong breath to work through these more difficult holds. You're gonna straighten that leg, come back to center, bring your hands onto your hips. Inhale, stretch up. Exhale, fold forward. Bringing the weight slightly into your toes, keeping your legs engaged. Shake your head out here. Inhale to a flat spine. Hands back onto your hips. We're gonna stand all the way back up. Rotate back towards the front of our mat. We're gonna step up to the front. Inhale to reach up. Exhale to fold forward. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, step back, high plank. Lower all the way to the mat. Inhale, cobra. Exhale, downward facing dog. All right, now we're ready to start turning on our core a little bit more. In downward facing dog, we're gonna lift our right leg to the sky. Then we're gonna exhale, come forward, rounding your back as you bring your right knee all the way to your nose. Inhale, reach it up. Exhale, curl into your nose. Reach up. This time we're gonna bring it to the side. Round, bring it all the way to your right elbow. Reach up, all the way to your left, twisting through your core. Reach up to the nose. And up to the right, up and twist. One more time, up to your nose. One more time, we're gonna reach it up, then we're gonna open, bringing our heel all the way over towards the other hip, opening up that hip, trying to keep your arms in line here so we're not twisting way open yet. And then if you wanna do something a little bit more adventurous, we're gonna flip over, drop our right foot to the ground, open up into flip dog, or what some people like to call wild thing. Reach through that top arm, lifting through the hips, and then flipping back over into downward facing dog. We're gonna repeat this on the other side. So walk out through your legs a few times, bend your knees. And we're gonna repeat, so lift through the left leg, curl it in right to your nose. Lift up, curl in, touch your nose. Up to the left, and up, all the way over to the right. We're gonna do one more on each side here, into the nose first. To the left, to the right. One more into the nose. And then open all the way up, dropping your left heel towards your right hip. And then when you're ready, you can flip over, lifting through the hips, reaching through your fingertips. You can have a little fun with it here. And then flipping back over into downward facing dog. And then we're just gonna relax here for a minute, give your core a break. Coming into child's pose for a few breaths. Relax your head to the floor. We're gonna take a few more deep breaths in child's pose. Your heart is probably racing a little bit. We're gonna let it normalize. So make sure to take these resting moments to take big, deep breaths, maximizing the time you have to let your body relax and recuperate. We're gonna slowly walk back up into a tabletop position, then coming right into a plank pose here. We're gonna do one vinyasa, so lowering down all the way onto the ground, inhaling into cobra, exhaling into downward facing dog. From downward facing dog, we're gonna move our left hand into the center. We're gonna shift forward, tilt onto the blade edge of our left foot. Now you can either stack your feet here, or there's also the option to drop your right foot to the ground. Then, when you feel steady, we're gonna lift our right hand up into the air, opening up, really trying to keep your hips lifted here, extending through your top arm, keeping your shoulders down away from your ears. And don't worry if you're experiencing a little bit of shaking, totally normal here. Keep your legs straight and strong. Really push out through that bottom hand. One more breath, inhale. Exhale, lower down. Coming back into downward facing dog. You can either stay here or take one vinyasa. Coming forward, lowering down, inhale. Exhale, downward facing dog. Shifting on to the other side. Bring our right hand into the center. Shifting forward, stacking our feet, and opening up. Really engaging through your legs, engaging through your core to lift your hips up. Make sure you're not drooping down. Breathe deeply here. Spread through your bottom fingers. One more breath. And exhale, back down. Again, we can either come back into downward facing dog, or if you'd like, you can take one more vinyasa, coming forward, dropping down, inhale, exhale, downward facing dog. Now we're ready to really turn our core on. So we're gonna shift forward into a high plank. We're gonna drop down onto our forearms. You can measure between your forearms here. So you're grabbing onto opposite elbows. Grasp your hands in front of you. Make sure your heels are stacked directly above your toes. You're gonna tuck that tailbone in, making sure you're pushing through your elbows so that you have a strong foundation in your back, lots of space between your shoulder blades. We're gonna start a 1-minute countdown here. You're gonna breathe deeply throughout. Breathing is really what's gonna help you get through this pose. And at any time, if you need to, you can always drop your knees down to the ground. But we really want to try to challenge ourselves here. So as soon as you're ready, make sure to bring those knees back up, turn everything back on. Make sure to check in with your core, tucking that tailbone, making sure you have a good, strong midsection here. Breathing deeply. Totally normal to feel a lot of shaking here. That's okay, it's your nervous system, it's turning on, you're strengthening your whole body here. Now for the last few seconds, we're gonna add in some dips. So you're just gonna dip one hip to the lower side, other hip to the lower side. We're gonna do 2 more. Lower, lower, making sure to reset in the middle, tucking that tailbone. 1 more. Come back to center. We're gonna finish off strong. And good job. We're gonna lift back up into high plank. Push into downward facing dog. Now, this is the time when downward dog really does feel like a resting pose. Inhale through your nose. Exhale out through your mouth. In through the nose. And out. We're gonna lower down onto our knees, come back into a hero's pose. We're gonna shift our legs out, come back onto our bum, come into the middle of your mat. To lower down to the mat, we're gonna come through a few boat poses. So you're gonna try to balance right on your sit bones. Keep a nice long spine, shoulders down away from your ears. We're gonna tip back, we're gonna lift our legs up. We're gonna lower all the way, almost all the way down. Feet hover, shoulders hover. We're gonna pop back up, boat. Down, lower. Come up, lower. One more time, we're gonna come up, all the way, lower all the way down. We're gonna hold it here, hovering shoulders, hovering your feet. We can flutter our feet a few times, kicking. And then relax. You're gonna separate your feet here. Let your hands come palm face up. We're just gonna do a little short relaxation here. 4 breaths. Giving our body time to come back to normal. our breath to come back to normal. One more breath in and out. And we're ready to move some more. So make sure that you've got the flesh moved out from the underside of your body. And we're gonna lift our legs up straight to the sky. Hands are rooted beside your body. We wanna make sure that low back is really pressing into the mat. So if it's popping up, tuck that tailbone, knit your ribs in, and press it right down. All right, we're gonna lower our legs here. So feet are flexed, heels are together, toes are together. We're gonna lower all the way down slowly. Make sure that low back doesn't pop up off the ground. And then raise them. Good job. Lower. And inhale, lift up. Strong exhale as you lower. Lift up. One more time. We're gonna lower slowly here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Hold it for 10. Lift up. And then knees into your chest. Give yourself a big hug. Rock back and forth. Release your low back. We're gonna drop our feet onto the floor here. You can reach out, see if you can graze your heels. Make sure that your heels are right below your knees. We're gonna roll our shoulders under. We're just gonna do a quick counter stretch here to release through our core. Bring your fingertips so they're facing towards the ceiling. We're gonna inhale, lift our hips. Exhale, release. Inhale, lift your hips. Exhale, release. One more time. Inhale, lift your hips. Exhale, release. Bringing your knees back together, we're gonna lift our feet off the ground, bringing our legs into a 90-degree angle here, almost like you're two sides of a box with your upper body and your legs, and then your legs are also like two sides of a box. Keep your feet flexed. We're gonna place our hands onto our legs, and we're gonna push. We're gonna push as hard as we can into our legs, and push your legs as hard as you can back into your hands, keeping your shoulders rooted to the ground, low back pushing into the mat. So let's go. We're gonna push. Breathe through it. Pushing as hard as you can, really feeling that resistance. You're gonna feel your whole core turn on here. You might feel a lot of shaking. Again, that's totally fine. 2 more breaths. And then release your knees into your chest. Give yourself a little roll on your back. Again, releasing that low back. All right, we're gonna do this again, but this time we're gonna bring our legs into an eagle leg position. So we're gonna wrap our right leg over our left. Now, if this is as far as you can go, that's totally fine, but if you can hook your foot again, go ahead and do that, just like if you're in a standing eagle pose. Push that low back into the mat again, and we're gonna push, find that resistance. So push into your legs, turn it on. Your tailbone is gonna lift slightly off the ground. Keep your shoulders rooted, keep your head rooted. Push as hard as you can, finding that spot of resistance. You can challenge yourself as much or as little here as you'd like. So find the place that really pushes you. 2 more breaths. 1 more. Bring your knees into your chest, give yourself a hug, right into the other side. So left leg over right, wrapping once, maybe twice. Root that low back down, tuck your tailbone, so you can really see it. You wanna make sure that that low back is really pushing down. Tuck it under, lift that tailbone, and push. Two more breaths. 1 more. Bring it in, give yourself a big hug. Roll back and forth here. We're gonna release the core a little bit more. So again, drop your feet back onto the ground. You can measure, see if you can touch your heels. Make sure they're right under your knees. Fingertips up towards the sky. Shoulder blades are underneath your body. Now lift up 1. Lift up 2. We're gonna lift up for a 3rd time. Interlace your hands under your body. We're gonna tuck our shoulders under. Lift our hips as high as you can, really stretching out your core here. Big breaths right into your belly. 1 more. Untuck your shoulders. You're gonna lower all the way down. Knees into your chest. Extend your arms out beside your body and just gently let your knees drop over to the right side. You can look over your left shoulder, keeping your left shoulder rooted to the mat. Breathe deeply and let everything go. If you'd like a little bit of a deeper stretch in the twist, you can take your top leg and wrap it around the bottom leg, coming into eagle legs. Moving a little bit deeper, stretching through the side body here. Gently come back to center. Make sure your hips are realigned. We're gonna bring our knees up into our chest and let them drop over to the left side. Looking over your right shoulder. Again, you have the option to cross your legs into eagle legs if you'd like. Keeping both shoulders rooted onto the mat. Allowing that top leg to passively come down towards the floor. You're gonna roll back into center, realign your hips, bring your knees into your chest one more time. Do any last movements that feel good for you. And when you're ready, release your legs onto the mat. Feet are wide. Hands come alongside your body. Close your eyes. And let everything go here. Drop your tongue away from the roof of your mouth. You can tuck one shoulder under slightly and then the other. Breathe into your core. Allow your core muscles to relax here. Release any tension that you're holding on to. And when you're ready to finish your relaxation, you can stay here for as long as you'd like. When you'd like to come out, wiggle your fingers, wiggle your toes. You're gonna roll over onto your right side, supporting your head. Coming into a fetal position. You can stay here for a few more breaths. And then we're gonna push up into a seated position, crossing your legs, sitting firmly on your sit bones. We're gonna sit tall through the spine, lift the chest, tuck the chin slightly, bring your hands to your heart. See if you can feel any differences in your body. Hopefully you feel a little bit stronger than when we started. And just remember that it's all a journey. Namaste. Thanks so much for sharing this core practice with me. I hope that your abs are burning and that you're feeling a little bit stronger. If you have any requests for things you'd like to see in upcoming videos, be sure to leave them in the comment section below. And don't forget to head over to Instagram where you can see a brand new photo every day this month.